In this video, we're going to learn about what are loops in Java. Imagine that you are at a gym. You decided to run for 10 minutes on treadmill. You keep running until the timer hits 0. Now, what if you had no fixed time, but just wanted to keep on running until you are tired? Or what if you had to do at least one lap before deciding to continue? Believe it or not, Java loops work in the same way. In this video, we're gonna break down for loop, while loop, and do while loop with real world example to help you understand better. So, what are loops? Loops allow us to repeat a block of code multiple times without writing it again and again. Example, imagine you are printing from 1 to 100. Writing 100 system.out.println will be exhausting. So here loops helps us automate the repetition. Let's talk about for loop. Basically we will use for loop when we know exactly how many times we want to repeat the code. Nothing but how many times we want to iterate the code. For example, if you want to print from 1 to 10, we know exactly that we want to repeat our code 10 times because 10 is a definite number of iterations we know upfront. Before talking about the syntax of for loop, we need to understand three things. First thing is initialization. Second is condition. What is condition? Third is update. In our example, if you want to print from 1 to 10, nothing but we want to initialize our first value with 1. So that we can do it using int I equal to 1. So this is the initialization. Second is condition. Condition is nothing but till what time we want to run our code. In our case, the value should be 10. Nothing but I can be less than or equal to 10. It will start from 1 and it will end at 10. That means 10 repetitions. Update is nothing but after every iteration, how much value you want to update. In our case, we want to update 1. That we can do it using I plus plus. Let's talk about the syntax of for loop. Syntax is for initialization is the first semicolon condition, then updation. Open code here, close brace. So in our example, we want to print from 1 to 10. For first is initialization, that is int I equal to 1. Next is condition is I less than or equal to 10. Updation is nothing but I plus plus because we want to increment every time with 1. Inside it, yes out system.out.println. When we run this code, we will get output as 1, 2, 3 till 10. Let's open our IntelliJ IDEA and run this program. I have opened the IntelliJ IDEA. Let me show you how to create the package, and inside that package we will write our loop code. So for that you can right click on src, create package. We'll call it as loops, and inside loop we will create our for loop demo. So for that I'll name as for loop demo. Let me create the main method, public static void main. So let's write a program to print 1 to 10 using for loop. As we know that for loop syntax is for initialization, then condition, then update. So for that for int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Open brace, close brace, yes out, I plus. So this should print sequentially 1 to 10 values. Let's run this program, Control Shift F10, or you can use the play button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is all about for loop. Next we'll see while loop. Let's talk about while loop. In the previous example, we know for loop, when we know the exact number of repetitions we need to execute, we will use for loop. But what if we don't know how many times we want to execute? In such cases, we will use while loop. The syntax of while loop is while open close. Inside it we'll have the condition, open brace, close brace. Here we will have the code. Let's take an example. Let's say you went to gym and you want to run on treadmill until you feel exhausted. In this case, you don't know how many minutes you're gonna run. So here we can use our while loop. Let me declare a variable int energy equal to some 10 minutes initially. So while energy is greater than 0, that means you can run. But after every minute your energy is draining. So we can decrement our energy value. That is how we can do is energy minus minus. So once energy reaches 0, you stop running. After completion of this while loop, we will say yes out stopping because of energy is drained. Let's execute this program in our IntelliJ and see. So I have created a while loop demo class under the loops package. Let's initialize our energy equal to 10 minutes. So while condition while energy is greater than 0, that means you can run energy left. After this we have to decrement our energy because every minute is completing. Once the execution of this loop is completed, we can just say stopping because energy is drained. Let's execute this program and see. See, initially the energy was 10 and it was slowly decremented to 1, and after 1 it is stopping. So this is about while loop. Next we will see do while. So basically we will use do while whenever we want to run our code for at least one time. After that decide whether to run or not. Let's Let's take our gym example. You went to the gym, you wanted to run for at least 5 minutes initially. After that, you want to decide whether to continue running on the treadmill or not. Let's talk about the syntax of do while. Do open brace, code, close brace. After that, we'll have while. Inside it, we have the condition, semicolon. So basically, our code will run for at least one time. After that, we will check the condition. Based on the condition, if you want to run it again, it will run or else it will stop here. So far in our examples, we have hard coded our values. But in this do while, I wanted to read the input from the keyboard. After that, decide whether to run it or not. So for that, we need to understand one thing, that is the scanner class. So in Java, we have a scanner class which will help us to read the inputs from the keyboard. For that, we have to use this scanner class, create an object of the scanner class that we can create like this. Inside it will take argument as system.in. Don't worry about this. When we start our oops concept, right, when there we will learn about classes and object. At that time it will be clear to you like what is this scanner s equal to new world. For now you will think like that scanner class is used to read input from the console. Now we have an object of the scanner class. Using that object we can read. How we can do it? Sc dot, when we write next, right, it will read an input from the console. So that can be string run. So let's code in the IntelliJ IDEA and see. I have opened the IntelliJ IDEA and I have created a do while demo class and a main method. Let's create a string initially run equal to yes. Let me create a scanner class sc equal to new scanner. It will take argument as system dot in. Don't worry about it, we'll learn it when we talk about oops concepts. Let's write the do while loop. Do open close. Here we will have the code. So initially we will just say yes out running. After this, we want to read the input from the keyboard. How we can do is we can use the object of the scanner class next method on that. And we can assign it to a variable using the shortcut alt enter. So it will assign it to the string. But already we have the string assigned, right? We will assign it to that. Run. We'll remove this. Now in this line, we will read from the keyboard whether to continue running or not. So our code in the do is complete. Let's write the while condition. While condition is run dot equals yes. That means you want to continue running. When we enter no in the console, at the time the running will stop. So last line would be stopping because we have decided to stop running. So let's run this program. We can use Control Shift F10 or we can use this play button. See, initially it is running. Now it is expecting us to give some input. So here we will say, yes, I want to continue. So again, it will say running. Again, I will say, I want to continue for another minute. Again, I will say yes. So here it is continuous running. But after few minutes, I decided to not to run because I am exhausted. At the time, I will say no. So it will stop. The program terminated. So these type of cases we have to use do while. So when we want to use for loop, when the number of iterations are known. While loop when the number of iterations are unknown. Do while when the loop must run at least once. If you think the concept of loops is clear to you, please hit a subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching.